In this example, I need to solve this problem here. Well, it's an equation. It has denominators in it, so it's a rational equation. And how do we solve those? We want to find the least common denominator, and then we're going to multiply all three terms in my original equation by the LCD in order to get rid of all my denominators. So the first thing I've got to do is find the least common denominator. So you go to your first denominator and you write it exactly as it's written. So I definitely need a y+3 in my LCD. You go to your next denominator. Do I already have a y+3 in my LCD? Yes, I don't need another one. So my LCD is just y+3. Now I need to write down what restrictions there are on my variable. When you have variables in the denominator, there are values of that variable that make the denominator 0, and we cannot divide by 0. So to find the restrictions, you set your denominator equal to 0. So I get y+3 equals 0, simple linear equation, subtract 3 from both sides, y equals -3. So that is the one value for the variable y that it cannot take on because it will make this denominator and this denominator equal to 0. So now what I have to do is multiply all three terms in my original equation by the LCD of y+3. And when my term is a fraction, I turn my LCD into a fraction by dividing it by 1. So I'm going to have y+3 over 1 times my first term, which is 3y over y+3, equals, on the right-hand side, I have 8, and I'm going to have to multiply it by the LCD, but since 8 is a whole number, I'm just going to write my LCD as y+3, minus the last term, 9 over y+3. Again, I have to multiply it by y+3 over 1. And I've got to be careful, I'm running into that. So now I'm ready to reduce and simplify. So on the left-hand side, my y+3's reduce, and I just get left with 3y over 1, which is just 3y. On the right-hand side, I'm going to have to distribute the 8 in, so I get 8 times y is 8y, 8 times 3 is +24. And my last term, the y+3's reduce, and I just get left with -9 times 1, which is 9 over 1 times 1 is 1. So now I've cleared all my denominators. I have a simple linear equation. I think I'm going to collect my y's on the left, and so I'm going to subtract 8y from both sides. So I get 3y minus 8y is -5y equals 8y minus 8y is 0, and 24 minus 9 is 15. Now to get y by itself, divide both sides by -5. So I've isolated the y on the left-hand side, and I get y equals 15 divided by -5 is -3. Are we done? No, you must check it against the restriction. And the one solution we came up with is the one value that y cannot take on because it will make both of these denominators 0. So that is an extraneous solution. So what is the answer? The answer is there is no solution to this problem because the only solution we came up with is not allowed.